Today is our day to talk about the American Red Cross. We have volunteers in the studio, and in fact, Bob and Heidi Shear, local coordinators, will hear about their doing and what they're planning for the year. We have Diane Nichols here, who is an account manager with American Red Cross. We have Amy Butteris here, who's a longtime volunteer, and Kyle Kriegel is back. Kyle is American Red Cross Southwest Wisconsin Executive Director. So we'll talk about Red Cross and some of the things they have going and some things they'd like to see as well. We'll start with Bob, though. Bob is a local coordinator. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Phil. I first would like to introduce my helpers.
Okay.
My wife, Heidi, is one of the computer operators along with Norma Swenson, and now she has trained my other helper here with me today. Amy has also learned on how to set up the blood drives on the computer and all that. And I'm looking forward to this next Wednesday's blood drive. I wish we had more donors than what we got, but our goal this trip is 75. And I think as of last night, we counted 76.
Oh, that's good then. Very good. How long have you been coordinator here in Richland Center, Bob?
It'll be 7 years, May 8th.
Okay. Why do you keep doing it?
I enjoy doing it. I've been a volunteer around Richland County for probably 43 years. I started out volunteering for the every time VFW had a doings when they were on down by Bowman Drive, and every time a doings came up, well, Bob's here. He can help clean smells.
So, humble beginnings back in the day. That's right. Heidi, good morning to you as well.
Good morning.
So your job, have you been helping as long as Bob has been? As well?
Yes. I kind of help with the computer stuff and stuff like that, and it's a rewarding, and plus we're gonna go back to the old school way. We're gonna do the spreadsheets, and we're gonna have people do it that way because the tablets are not working right. So we're just gonna have them write their name, phone number, and that, and then what I'll do is I'll go home and enter all of that stuff into the computer, and it's going to be a lot easier than trying to deal with the tablets.
Mm-hmm. Do you get a lot of people signing up in advance?
Yes, we do, and it does make our job a lot easier, and so it does make our job a lot easier.
And these blood drives roll around really fast because in my mind I was thinking it was another month or so, but here it is next Wednesday already, isn't it?
Yep. And if people want to help, they can contact Bob Shear at 608-475-0621. He would appreciate people's help, and I'm sure it would be appreciated. Like Bob said, we're going to do barbecues, so come and get something to eat.
Always good food, isn't there?
Yes.
Right. And then in terms of setup and tear down, you can always use help there too.
Yes, we can. And Bob would appreciate help, and that I think it would be beneficial. We get out of there sooner, since the nurses can't stay and help us clean up.
I know you don't promote it a lot, but can somebody just walk in if their schedule allows?
I think.
Yeah, they can. They can walk in. We are accepting walk-ins if there's an opening available. If someone would cancel, that would be an opening for somebody to fill by walking in.
It's ideal to have folks. It's ideal to have folks. This is Kyle from the Red Cross. This is ideal for folks to make an appointment because then we can hold your spot and guarantee it. Certainly, we always take walk-ins. They're always welcome to come to the blood drives. But a lot of times, you may have to wait a little bit. That's the biggest thing. So, but we want to make sure to get everybody. We want to make sure everybody goes through because we all want to get a chance to get one of Bob's barbecues. So, absolutely, we want to have everybody come as much as possible. But again, if you can make an appointment ahead of time, like Heidi said, make that appointment. lock in your time. That really helps us a lot with scheduling so that everybody gets through, because we want to make this an enjoyable experience for folks when they're going through, because it's such an important thing for people to do, to give blood. And so if you can make your appointment ahead of time, great. And yeah, it's already next Wednesday.
Can't believe
It's
it.
coming fast. But certainly walk-ins are welcome. Do you guys want to give them the times that they can?
Yeah, I could do that, Kyle.
Yeah.
The time of the blood drive is from 11:30 until 5:30. And I wanted to add one more thing about the ones that are helping out right now is I've got, for canteen help, I've got Linda Wallace and Eva Potts. They do an excellent job in the kitchen. And I've got two new gals going to be starting to help. I got one gal that works at the dentist office in Spring Green. She called at the during the last blood drive and asked if there would be a chance of her coming and helping. And I said, anytime. I said, come and enjoy yourself. Or I said, work anywhere from 1 to 2 hours, whatever you want to work.
Won't turn them away.
No.
That's for sure. How have the drives been going recently, Kyle, around Southwest Wisconsin? Are we getting some pretty good numbers?
Right after the first of the year, some things had happened to us nationally with the American Red Cross blood collection. We were running into situations where the weather had to cancel a lot of drives. And also, we all know sickness and illness has hit pretty hard. So we did go on an appeal. Diane, do you want to cover just some quick talking points about the current appeal? We have had a great turnout so far. We're
Good.
very, very appreciative of people coming out and supporting blood because, again, blood is constant. We need it all the time.
Yeah, good morning, Diane.
Good morning. Kyle hit all my talking points that I had written down. Thanks so much, Kyle. But we did, hospital usage was up, the colds and flus. We were down about 35% in the beginning of the year. So we've made that up. We're making ground. February was fantastic, and I wanted to go back to what Bob said. Richland Center has fantastic donors. Our appointment schedule looks fantastic. We know we're going to get a few more before next Wednesday. So we are looking pretty good, but currently still under that severe shortage.
Do you see when the weather improves, like it's right now in the process of, but do people come out a little bit more in the spring?
Weather does help us right now. May, we will see people want, cabin fever hits and people want to be out in their lawns or biking, sports outside, hiking, all of the outdoor sports. So in May, we do take a little hit because of nice weather. But right now, no storms to travel to get to the blood drive. All of that does help people come out to the drives.
I know you're located in Mount Horeb. How many drives do you oversee or help coordinate?
I have 25 to 35 a month. I work from Broadhead to Richland Center. Mineral Point are kind of my points, and then Cross Plains, a little bit into Madison.
You put on some miles.
I put on a few miles. I get to see some great country, though.
And you're here when Richland Center High School does its drive, too, aren't you?
Yes. Richland Center is also, they are the week after. If you can't make next Wednesday for whatever reason, we do have another opportunity at Richland Center on March 18th, 9 to 2. So come on out and donate.
Okay. And the same applies. You can apply online for the Richland Center?
You can look it up by zip code. I don't remember Richland Center zip code or
53581.
53853. Anyway, stumble over that. But yes, you can look them up by zip code and make an appointment. You can call the 800 number, tell them Richland Center. If you have the donor app, you can make an appointment. So several ways to make an appointment, but we do welcome walk-ins. And like Kyle said, it is maybe a little bit of a wait, but we don't turn donors away.
Yeah, most definitely. Kyle, we want to talk about some of the other things Red Cross does as well.
Well, actually, Phil, there's a couple other things that folks haven't mentioned about blood drives this month. I do want to say for all of the month of March, so March 1st through the 31st, if you come to a Red Cross blood drive or one of our blood donor centers and give blood, your blood's going to be tested for A1C. So if you're concerned that, you want to find out if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, that's a free service that we're providing folks. So that's another way that you can learn about your blood and how you're doing, your health and how you're doing. The other thing I do want to say too is that there is the gift card. Do you want to cover that real quick, Diane?
Sure. It's a $15 Amazon gift card. Just give us your email. We send you that back, and about 2 weeks after the drive, you get to redeem it for something on Amazon.
So Phil, with Bob's Great Barbecue,
Yeah.
you're going to get your A1C tested, and you're going to get a $15 Amazon gift card. No excuses. You got to make an appointment and come out and give blood.
Boy, he's putting the pressure on, isn't he?
Yeah, but also I do want to just say that, so for us, March is Red Cross Month. We celebrate this. Our organization was founded by Clara Barton in 1881. We have a long, rich history, especially even here in Wisconsin, on things that the Red Cross does. And so some of the things that I wanted to just kind of highlight, a lot of things that we do right here in Richland County, just some statistics for folks to know. I know last year, typically we see a few disaster responses that we respond to. We responded to one disaster operation here in Richland County, helped 2 people. I seem to recall, there's disasters that are happening all the time. This last year, we saw a lot of house fires across Wisconsin where there were fatalities. And so one of the big things that we always encourage folks to do is to always make sure you have a working smoke alarm. And this weekend, being the daylight savings time to spring forward, is a great opportunity for folks to go and check and make sure your smoke alarm is working. A lot of us are like, I just changed the battery and that's good. But you don't realize that a smoke alarm, even if you look at the manufacturer's details, it's only good for 10 years. So even if you change the battery every year, you still need to replace those smoke alarms every 10 years per the manufacturer. So I do want to just say that is something that the American Red Cross does. So we have a team of volunteers that will go into you would go online, Red Cross, make an appointment, and we'd send out a team of volunteers and go into your home and replace your smoke alarms. We also work with the homeowner to provide maybe some hazards, like identify hazards in the home and make sure that you have a plan and know what to do, like 2 exits in every room, have a meeting space outside the home. So just some general safety information for folks. But it's really important that as families, this weekend, if you get a chance, check your smoke alarm, but make sure you know what to do if a disaster were to happen in your home. I seem to recall just a couple months ago, we had a house explosion just south of here. So you just never know when something could happen. For the American Red Cross, you see us on TV, the wildfires or the hurricanes, the big disasters, but the number one disaster that we respond to every day are house fires. We respond to 65,000 disasters a year here in the United States. Wisconsin, we respond almost to between 900 and 1,000 disasters every year. And that can happen anywhere to anyone at any time, and we want to make sure folks are safe. So I did want to just mention the smoke alarms. We are doing some smoke alarm events around the state this month, next month. I know probably La Crosse is a big one that's close by. We're doing one in April 11th, and then in the Madison area of Fitchburg, we're doing the 25th of April. But there are other events that are going on throughout the state. So again, you can go to the Red Cross website and learn about those opportunities if you've got family or friends in those areas. But I also want to just say that it isn't just restricted to those areas. We do smoke alarm replacements year-round. And as I said, it's a free service that we provide because we want to make sure folks are safe in their homes.
When you talk about these events, what transpires at those events that you have in those cities?
Yeah, sure. So what we do is a lot of times we'll bring in a lot of our partners. So we'll partner with the La Crosse event that's coming up on April 11th. We're going to be working with the La Crosse Fire Department, the Onalaska Fire Department, Holman Fire Department. We're specific that particular event, we're really targeting a lot of the Hmong communities that are impacted, and we want to make sure that they're safe. But anyone can make an appointment in that area, so we're bringing in volunteers. We've got a couple of Red Cross youth clubs. So there's some corporate partners that are going to send volunteers, and then of course Red Cross volunteers as well. So we're going to fan out that day and hit a lot of neighborhoods in those communities.
Great service to provide smoke alarms for people. I have to wonder how many lives you've actually saved by doing that.
I'm going to just give a kind of an estimate because I haven't seen the most up-to-date number, but it's well over 1,200 people nationwide since 2014. And that number continues to grow. And those are documented where we've gone into a home and provided a free smoke alarm. Also here, a couple places here in Wisconsin are on that list as well.
Red Cross was involved. I know there were some really bad weather situations in the country already, tornadoes and different natural disasters too that Red Cross responds to.
We do, and April's right around the corner, and usually that's when we have Tornado Awareness Week. And I would encourage folks when we do have Tornado Awareness Week, usually the state will do statewide tests with the siren system. Usually there's one during the day and one in the evening. That's a great opportunity for you could practice your plan on what to do for tornado drill during the day, at your work or place of, again, wherever you are during the day. But then at night, when they do the test, it's a great opportunity to test your plan at home on what to do when the tornado sirens go off.
There could be some bad weather tomorrow too, so it's interesting. You think about those tornado months, but We've had tornadoes I think every month in Wisconsin.
We have had tornadoes touchdown confirmed in Wisconsin every month during the year. Don't forget, I think it was just 2 years ago we had in January. I think the Stoughton area actually had a confirmed tornado that had struck. So you're right; they can happen at any time. I always say if you don't like the weather in Wisconsin, just wait a minute. It'll change. But anyway, yes, always good idea to make sure you're prepared on what to do for tornadoes. Also, I would just say too, the spring season, and I know that you mentioned the weather for tomorrow, flood season as well. And so knowing what to do in a flood, are you in a floodplain? Make sure you know what to do for flooding situations as well. And again, you can go to redcross.org and you can type in, those to learn some preparedness tips on what to do. That stuff is free to download for you.
What happens, let's say that a family member, they have a house fire. Does someone automatically contact Red Cross, or how do you normally, how are you alerted to it, Kyle?
Sure. So probably the easiest way to kind of explain it is this. So when we've worked with our volunteer, our fire department partners, and they're told that if anybody needs Red Cross services, so they contact our 24-hour hotline, and then we'll dispatch volunteers that are closest to that disaster, and then they'll meet with the family, go over what their needs are, and begin providing them the assistance that they need.
Mm-hmm. And then you always need volunteers, don't you?
We always can use volunteers. One of the things that I want to say that I've been in Red Cross for over 28 years. And when I started, we would respond to, the large disasters, when you think about like the hurricanes and the wildfires, we'd respond to a large disaster nationally once every about 18 months. Now it's almost every 2 weeks we're responding to a large disaster. And so what we're looking for is we need to be prepared and ready for those disasters, and we want to make sure we've got enough people available to be able to respond to those disasters. And so that's why we're always looking for disaster volunteers. But if you want to respond to a large disaster, we usually, if you got 2 weeks available and can go on an assignment, we'll take you. But also, as I said, we respond to the majority of our disasters are single-family house fires, and we need people every single day to help respond to those.
What are some of the roles that they would do, as a volunteer in a house fire situation, Kyle?
Well, a house fire situation, the acronym is DAT. We call them a disaster action team member. They will do like some damage assessment, kind of assess what the family's needs are, and then we'll issue them. Well, our client casework will work with them to provide them assistance, financial assistance. But that could also be, they could also have health or mental health needs as well. So if you have a background in mental health or health services, nursing, those folks are also needed as well. So it kind of depends on what the situation calls for. We also do a lot of referrals. So if there's other organizations that they may need assistance for, we'll continued assistance, long-term housing or long-term assistance. We also work with our other partners to deliver that as well.
We're focusing on the American Red Cross here today on today's morning show. From a caller today, is there anyone who can't or shouldn't donate blood? Kind of open it up. Diane, do you have a response to that?
Yeah, so we do have eligibility guidelines. Very simply, 110 pounds, feeling well, day of drive. However, if you're on certain medications, not all medications, but I can tell you blood thinners, we ask you not to donate because of the thin blood, and you can volunteer if that is the case. But the best way to, if there's a specific question that you have, call the 800 number, and because travel outside the U.S., sometimes it's not a specific place, because if you go to Cancun, Mexico, I think you're okay, but if you go to the ruins, then you're taken out of the donation. The other thing is antibiotics. If you're on antibiotics, it's the reason you're taking the antibiotics if you're taking it for an infection, you cannot donate, but if you're taking it to clean up acne, you're okay to donate. So sometimes it's not a simple cut answer, yes, no. It's the reasons behind it. And the 800 number has all the questions they can ask you and drill down to make sure you're eligible.
And obviously that can change.
It can change.
Right.
Like I said, you may not be feeling well this week, but next week you're feeling healthy and you can donate. Or the day before you're feeling fine, the morning of you wake up and you're not feeling well, then you're taken out of the donation, because we don't want to give sick people.
Right.
And another thing is, so too, if they ask, like Diane said, the weight part of it is 110, but your iron count has to be between 12 and 15 is where they would like it. And if they have any questions, they can call 1-800-733-2667.
Thank you, Bob. You also mentioned the month of March. You're doing some special screening as well, Kyle.
Yeah, the A1C testing is something that we'll be providing.
Now, do people need to fast or anything like that before they do?
Oh,
that?
No, Phil. I was just going to say, after Diane said that, one of the things that we strongly encourage folks is make sure you're well hydrated.
Yeah.
Have a, if it's if you're going to make that appointment at 11:30, make sure you have breakfast that day. Do not fast. We want to make sure you're well hydrated when you give blood. So those are some great opportunities. And again, I would, as Diane said, I always encourage folks, if you're nervous about something, you can always go to our website, redcrossblood.org, and it'll walk, if you got a question, to walk you through whatever, question you may have. The other thing that I would just say too, when it comes to, if you're not sure if you're on a medication or something like that, again, you can always go to redcrossblood.org to learn, but also check with your physician. Check with your local doctor that you go to and ask them if it would be safe to donate blood. Mm-hmm. Those are always good words to live by when doing that. But yes, to answer your question again, the A1C testing is something that we're doing nationwide. I do want to say too that we also do that other times during the year. So usually we try to do that either 2 or 3 times a year. I think the last time we did it was in November. So we try to do it a couple of times a year for the A1C testing, so that our donors get an opportunity to find out if they are pre-diabetic. They can learn that information, and then get that information through the Blood app if they download that.
Right. We'll be back with more on the morning show in a moment. We are talking with volunteers. Amy Butterus will be back with us in a little bit here. She's a volunteer with the local drive as well. Bob and Heidi are here. Diane Nichols and Kyle Kriegel on the morning show today. We are talking about the American Red Cross today on the morning show. They have an upcoming blood drive in our community, or I should say blood drives in the local community, and they couldn't do it without the local volunteers. Amy Butterus is a volunteer. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Good.
Great to have you on the radio with us. How long have you been a part of volunteering for these drives, Amy?
Maybe a couple years, maybe.
You've
The family's been involved, though.
I think 4.
This is the first. Last year was the first year I made the turkey dressing sandwiches, so I'm not sure, but I was there then.
You're involved in the food.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
The most important part.
That's the most
right.
important part. So you're making the barbecue for next week?
No, no. Bob makes the
Oh,
barbecue.
Bob is the.
Just in November, I'll make the turkey dressing sandwich
Why do you get involved? Why do you volunteer with the local drive?
because I love it, and they're my friends. I don't know. I like to come in and I'm a people person, and I like to visit with the people that come in, and
Do you give an opportunity to give blood yourself then while you're there?
I'd like to, but the last 2 times I've passed out, so I'm just not sure about it. But I wouldn't mind doing it.
And I think that's some people. I think you just have to do it and get that first
Right.
time done, and yeah, indeed. So in terms of the one on Wednesday, then you're encouraging local people to come out. And what is your role at the drive?
Usually I'll come in and help set up, and then I'll help tear down, and I usually help maybe in the kitchen, or I'll try to make sure people get food and their drinks, and
Wherever needed.
wherever needed.
And there is a need. So and you help with this each time that it comes to
I
Richland Center?
try. I'm going to get with my supervisor and see if I can have my rotation changed around a little bit.
Work
So I can
it in
help.
there. So
I
well, good
trained
deal.
her on the computer.
I did
So-
the computer last week.
So you're getting kind of all the aspects of it, aren't you?
Yeah, try.
Yeah.
That's why I called her my all-around gal.
Yeah, you're the utility player. I'm sure every drive has people like Amy Kyle, and certainly we're fortunate that we do.
We are, and hey, you gotta have that great food, local made food here. I mean, come out and give blood and just have a sandwich, a turkey sandwich, or next week we'll have the barbecue. So, we depend heavily. We can't do what we do without volunteers. I'll just tell you that kind of the rule of 90, like 90% of our workforce is made up of volunteers in the American Red Cross. The other thing that we say with 90 cents of every dollar you donate goes to the for direct services to help support our mission, our work. So we literally, as I said, volunteers are the lifeblood of the organization, and we couldn't do what we do without them. I do want to say that we are always looking for new volunteers. Here in Richland, we have 6, and we'd love to double that if we could to help us deliver the mission work here in the county.
How many do you normally have at a drive, or does it vary?
Well, Bob's got a pretty mighty team. What do you got, Bob? About 5 or 6?
I got 6.
6? Yep. So those
Yeah,
are
I got
6.
6.
Oops.
He's got 6 volunteers that help him. Again, with tear down, setup. Great crew in the kitchen helping serve those meals. I do want to say one other thing before we forget. The drive next week is at the Richland Community Center. So if folks didn't know where it was located, I just want to make sure folks did know it was.
1050 North Orange.
Yeah. So that is the address of our drive next week. So there's a couple other things, Phil, I wanted to just say, again, celebrating March as Red Cross Month. A couple of things that, as a preparedness agency, one of the things that we try to push is our free apps that you can download on your phone. We have a lot of them, and I usually kind of zero in on just a few of them. The biggest one I always like to push is the emergency app. And so the nice thing about the emergency app, it'll walk you through what to do in emergency situations. We were talking about tornado safety. It'll actually walk you through what's the difference between a watch and a warning. So it walks you through a lot of great preparedness things. The other thing it'll do is that if you're in an area that's under a severe warning or in danger, it will let you know that. It'll also tell you where the Red Cross shelters are. So if your area is impacted by a disaster and you need to get to a shelter, it'll show you where the shelter is located. And actually, it's got a great map. It'll actually show you the United States where all Red Cross shelters are. So if you have family or friends in other parts of the country, it will show you that as well. The other app that I like to mention is our First Aid and CPR app. Walks you through what to do for basic emergency situations like cuts, bumps, bruises, bee stings, just what to do in an emergency situation. I like that it's They've got a video that they'll walk you through, step-by-step instructions written out. So there's a lot of different ways that they'll show you on what to do in an emergency situation. Of course, the blood app, I can't forget that. That kind of helps you. You can, again, sign up for a blood drive right on the app itself and get information back. You can also find out where your blood goes. A lot of people like to see the journey of their blood, like, wait, where did it go? Did it help somebody here locally, or did it go to Chicago or other parts of the country? So there's some really cool things with the blood app I wanted to stress. The last one, for all the pet lovers out there, there is a pet first aid app. It's really geared a lot towards dogs and cats, but it will actually walk you through if your pet has an emergency on what to do. Also, if you travel with your pet, it will tell you within a 50-mile radius of where you're at, if you activate the GPS piece, pet-friendly hotels. So just some really cool features on some of those apps. All of them are free. They're available on the Apple Store and Google, or for Android. So just great information at your fingertips.
I never would have thought the Red Cross would be involved in pet safety.
Oh, yes. Yep.
That's interesting.
Yep. Hey, a lot of people, pets are just like family. And so we want to make sure that you have that information available to you and know what to do when an emergency strikes.
Lots of different apps. Is there one spot you can go to where you can take a look at all the apps? And
again, you can go to the Apple Store for that, or you can go to for Google, or I'm sorry, for Android users, there's also their site as well. So it's available on both sites.
Very well. Lots of things that, I guess I hadn't thought of. Blood drives certainly is the reason that you're on here, and there's always a need. And I think Diane mentioned, too, about people getting out and, the weather's getting better. But unfortunately, that's when some more accidents could happen as well, and blood is needed.
Well, and the other thing that we actually see nationally is that, so we've been on this appeal, and so we've had great turnout during the month of February. So everybody comes and gives in February, and then all of a sudden we'll see a drop-off in March because everybody that was going to give in March gave early in February. So that's why we're asking folks to continue to give. It's a year-round thing. Again, remember, you can donate every 56 days. And so please get on that schedule if you can. We'd love to have it so that you can be a regular donor.
Diane, more hosts could be used as well, couldn't they?
Yes.
We're always open to finding new sites, new volunteers, new coordinators to make sure we have the blood needed, because it's a daily need for blood. It's consistent, and we have to collect 6 days a week to meet the hospital needs. So we could use more partners.
And you have blood drives several days. I notice sometimes some communities even have them on Saturdays as well.
Yes, we do collect 6 days a week. Saturday is limited to one drive, but there are Saturdays opened, and we do travel for one drive because the need is constant.
And the staff that you provide, how many staff members do you send for each drive?
The number of staff is a calculation of number of hours, and the pints we want to collect is how many people we send out to the drive. So I'm going to say next week 8 people maybe, around there. So, yeah.
Great. And they make the rounds, so you have each day, like that day, you have other communities that are busy with blood drives in too.
We do. We send out, I think it's 7 trucks now from Madison go out, and it's supposed to be an 80-mile radius from Madison to collect. Sometimes we co-op. I've had La Crosse come down and help us out when Madison is pulled a different direction. So we share staff and make sure that we try to fill the days as much as possible to make sure that we collect the blood and meet the needs.
It used to be known as the Blood Mobile.
People still say blood mobile.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
Some of us old timers. Well, interesting conversation, Kyle. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, just the last thing I'll just say. So towards the end of the month, in celebrating March as Red Cross Month, we will have a day of giving. So if people want to give financially to the American Red Cross, it's an online, so you can go to redcross.org and make a donation. You can designate it if you want to do towards blood, or if you want to designate towards disaster, whatever line of service you'd like to support. But I would encourage if folks want to support the American Red Cross, that's a great way to give back. And a lot of times we have matching days, so watch that as well. But March 25th is our giving day for the American Red Cross.
We'll keep that. We'll mark that on the calendar, too.
Yep.
And again, the blood drive coming up in Richland Center next week. Bob, we want to get people up to date on that once again. What are the hours next week?
Yes, the hours are from 10:30 to 11:30 to 5:30. We have everything set up and ready for the trucks to pull in. They unload at 10:30 and have everything set up and ready to go by 11:30. And I've got, I kind of screwed that up when I said my volunteering of all the stuff I've done, but for the Red Cross, before I joined in the Red Cross completely, I had done a total of 24 years of Red Cross. I used to help out when it was over in the old community center on Seminary. I lived right across the street at Richland Hills when I first started helping Red Cross. I worked with Lois Dewar and I was their gift, or what do you want to call it? When they would come out, they'd sign out instead of just signing in. She had them to where they would sign out and get a gift. And now it's a little bit more different, but I've enjoyed every bit of it.
Well, we appreciate what you do and helping to coordinate that as well, and hope a lot of people will show up next week.
And also I do candy drive at the family restaurant. I'm either sitting outside or in between the glass doors. I try to do it on Friday, Saturday, and every other Sunday.
How's that been going for you, Bob?
Well, I haven't been doing it for a while, kind of the cold weather.
Well, that has changed. That's going to improve. So
Yeah, and I can't wait to sit outside. That seems like I can collect more for Red Cross that way, and that goes for all the disasters to help the disaster people down in Madison or wherever it goes.
Oh, wonderful. Heidi, anything else that you wanted to add
One
today?
thing I would like to share is if people want to pre-schedule, if they want to pre-schedule and that, they can contact me at 608-475-0028. I can do, and then I can put it in the system. And but yeah, if they want to pre-schedule and let me know. And we also, if people would like to come and help, we're also looking for donor aids too, that if people want to help, we could train them on how to walk people to the bed. We want to eventually get back to that way, so where we can help, these people to the bed, to the cot, or
And
whatever.
that way the nurses don't have to do it.
And it makes their job easier too.
Donor helpers, so you can use a lot of different volunteers in different respects.
And Phil, I just want to add a couple things. With the blood drive, bring a friend, bring a pal if you can, because a lot of times they can help you with that as well. And then I'm going to probably steal a little bit of Bob's thunder, but I wanted to make sure he didn't forget to mention this. He got a new sponsor for the blood drive, and I'll let him cover
I
that.
want to mention all my sponsors.
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Starting out here by Culver's is a great sponsor with all their buy one, give a pint, get a pint. And then we have Subway that does make up very delicious Subway cookies. And then we got the Locker that donates the hamburger for the barbecue. They'll donate my ring bologna when I make up the ring bologna sandwiches. And then we have Quick Trip that donates the buns. And we have a new sponsor as of last week, and that's Culligan Water Softener. has stepped up to the plate and going to sponsor us for the Red Cross.
Thanks to them. Couldn't do it without them.
That's
All of
right.
them. So good. Well, thanks for all you do, Bob and Heidi and Amy. Appreciate you being on with us. Diane, you've been feverishly making notes over there as well, or are you just you don't have anything more?
And thank you, but no, just making sure I.
You were writing notes. I thought you had something else to add there. I'm sorry.
Phil, again, thank you for having us on. We greatly appreciate this opportunity to just share with the community, highlighting the need for folks to come out for blood, especially this month. And again, we're going to provide free testing for A1C testing for blood donors. You get a free Amazon gift card, and you can't beat the barbecues that Bob and his team make. So again, no excuse.
No excuse.
No excuse. But please, if you can come out and donate, we'd love to have you next week, Wednesday, at the Richland Community Center. If not, as Diane said, the following week we've got one at the high school, and we've got drives. If you can't make those, we've got other ones all throughout the community. Again, you can go to redcrossblood.org, put in your zip code, and just learn about where our blood drives are. Lots of different opportunities. We really appreciate it if you can come out. Also, just leave you with, if you are interested in learning about volunteer opportunities, we're always looking, as I said, for volunteers. You can go to redcross.org, put in your zip code, and you can learn about volunteer opportunities in your community. Many times, some of those opportunities are virtual opportunities, so you can actually volunteer from your own home. So again, lots of opportunities to get involved. And of course, Giving Day on March 25th. So just some great opportunities to get involved. And again, we want to thank the community for supporting us. Great volunteers like Bob, Heidi, and Amy here today. We couldn't do it, as I said, without the great support from them and also the community. So thank you.
Always good to see you.
Another thing is that Red Cross, my team is also going to be doing another team event at Walk with Grace this year. And I usually pay the $150 for the team, and then we go from there.
Mm-hmm. That time is coming as well for Greater Richland Area Cancer Elimination. Good to see you, Kyle. Always good to have your expertise on the air. And do you have a central office, or you just kind of travel around?
No,
your car? Yeah, I was going to say.
He's caught between Madison and La Crosse.
Yeah, I do a lot of traveling, Phil. Mm-hmm. I know this area very well. I know a lot of the back roads, but I get to meet a lot of great people, partners, volunteers, supporters of the Red Cross, and I'm just always amazed to hear their stories on why they support the Red Cross. Whether it's they had an emergency and they needed that emergency transfusion of blood, whether it's somebody that took a first aid class and actually had to perform CPR on someone, to someone that was in the military and they needed to get an emergency message to their loved one wherever they were, anywhere in the world. So just hearing those stories and the work that we do, it's so meaningful. Just proud to be part of this organization.
Kyle Krieg will join us from the American Red Cross, Southwest Wisconsin Executive Director, along with Diane Nichols, who is an account manager for the American Red Cross. Bob and Heidi Shear and Amy Butteris on this portion of the morning show.